Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome back. Jamie here today with Dylan. AEW Dynamite February the 15th, 2023 predictions. And we're 3 weeks away from the pay-per-view. We know one match. And like you could guess from the title, we're sick of this booking. This is getting out of hand now. Even the glue eaters are sick of it, so that's telling something.
Wait, we're 3 weeks away from.
Revolution. Did I say Revolution? Or
You
did I
said
not
pay
say
per
that?
view, but like, I
Pay-per-view,
didn't know.
yeah.
I thought we were further off because, like you're saying, this booking is telling no story whatsoever.
Nope. No stories.
And I get it, he does these, his pay per views are very spaced out. He's not doing one once every month. But that's the conclusion to your plot line. Then that's your season finale or whatever. That's
Yeah.
that's either like a high point in the storyline or the end of the storyline.
And the
Since
fact
you
it
had
was
them
4
so
months
infrequent.
ago, the last one. 4 months.
Yeah, what was the
between
story they were
pay-per-views.
telling there that we were really interested in? MJF.
MJF winning a title, won it, I think, yeah.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think what there was because the Acclaimed already had the titles.
Hmm.
Oh, it would have been the Young Bucks thing as well, wasn't it? That was what they were doing.
Oh yeah, well, we weren't interested in that.
The start of 7 match, which I really want to know those. Like, me and you actually have to sit down and figure out what those figures were in general. Like, in terms of like how many numbers they lost for those matches.
Oh, well, it's every time they were on, they just lost numbers.
I know,
they?
but like I think that'll be a good video for us to do of like see like the first match lost this many, and see how like the difference the average is.
Yeah, true.
Because
I'm
that's a
thankful
big
they're not on the
discussion that
show
needs to be
tonight.
had.
It really is. I mean, there's a lot to talk about tonight, not just this card as well, but just in general. Like, if this booking continues this way within like, I don't even know, man. I'm starting to get to this point now where it's like, well, what's the point? I'll just stick with WWE, which is just crazy to say like a year ago or whatever, but
I know, but like there's a saving grace in terms of like they have a nice strong. Well, they don't have a nice strong women's division. They have Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Okay,
Yeah.
which I love him, but when you've only got 2 great fucking wrestlers in one division that needs to be built properly. Not really much. Like they're good. They're good enough to keep me like wanting to watch their storyline. But is it enough for me to like spend 2 hours of my life to watch it? Well, you know what I mean, to watch the entire show. Like
And the fact they're not even going to feud for a while because now they're going to do this originals versus people. What do you even call WWE rejects? What are we calling them? Originals versus what? Like outsiders? I don't even know.
I don't know. Like I thought it was like homegrowns versus like quote unquote like legends maybe. You know what I mean, to call that too.
Oh my god! So Toni Storm's a legend now, yeah.
I don't know where from. Like,
exactly, it's ridiculous.
Like, where does she compete? Like, where she's a big name. Like, wasn't like she's competing like New Japan, like Shida or Rio, you could say. You know what I mean? And with Shida, you could say she's more, definitely AEW homegrown. You know what I mean? This is like, I am definitely a Shida fan. I'd buy her merch. I'd watch her matches.
Yeah, Austin, we're good. How about you, mate? How are you? But yeah, let's jump into this match card because we've got a lot to talk about. And I'm starting off with this match because what the fuck is this? We got the Acclaimed, who just lost the titles last week. Now they're teaming up with Billy Gunn, which makes sense, and Orange Cassidy, which doesn't, against Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, Satnam, and
apparently,
Sonjay.
Jamie, you need to watch fucking Rampage to find this shit out, as I found out on Twitter.
But that don't make any sense either way because they lost the title. Shouldn't they be pissed and wanting them back or be like to Billy, yo, you made this match, we weren't, and now we lost the titles. But no, let's just have a 8-man tag because
I don't know, like and especially when they lost it wasn't a clean win for the Guns.
No. If the Guns were involved inside this match, it makes sense. The Guns are nowhere to be seen.
Like,
and they're the champions.
Oh, God, it just doesn't make any sense. Who are you building up to face the Guns? Like, who are you facing for the next, like,
FTR, I guess, but I don't know.
No, because like my theory is much worse. They literally didn't want to lose the heat with the Acclaimed. Oh, they didn't want to face the Acclaimed because they didn't want to do it. It's the Young Bucks. Young Bucks went, we'll take on, we can't. We aren't going to take on the Acclaimed because they've got such a big backing with the crowd. It wouldn't work for us. How we want to be quote unquote faces or heels. I don't know what they're going to be, but they know they're going to lose on the mic and in the ring. Well, yeah, in the ring from the Acclaim, but with the Gun Club, they're still sort of new and fresh. There's a style that they can probably just easily win over there, but then it just screws over the Guns.
If that happens,
that's my fear.
If the Young Bucks start challenging, then you're right, 100% that didn't, because that wouldn't surprise me at all. Like, look how over the Acclaimed are. There's no way Young Bucks want to be in a feud with them.
Just look how over the Gun Club is, the Guns, and it's like Toni he's learned from his past mistakes, but he's learned in such a piss poor way that he's not using it effectively. Like he's realized, oh, I should have put the Acclaimed in the titles a lot sooner or whatever. So, he looked out that they were still red hot when he gave him the titles. That he's now doing that with the Guns, but you're like, mate, these guys are on fire, and you have these other guys who are also on fire, and they have fire chemistry. Why the fuck are you just suddenly like dropping it? If this was going to be a full on, say 3-month feud for the next big pay per view, depending on how it's done, I would watch it. You know what I mean? It's very good.
True.
If you hot potatoed the titles, you know what I mean? That'd be that would make sense if they were still in a feud, but like you said, why they suddenly like, oh, you're hurting our boy Orange Cassidy, who has Trent and Chuck backing him up all the time, who suddenly nowhere to be fucking seen apparently.
I know, yeah. What the hell happened to them? And I know some glooters probably say, well, the Acclaimed faced Jeff Jarrett before, didn't they, or whatever his team. It's like, yeah, they faced him. That's not a story, though. They beat him. That's it. There's no story there. Just because they faced them before, don't mean this is a story.
Jeff Jarrett is a singer, and Matt Cass's a rapper. So they want to start having. They want to have like a concert off. You know what I mean? That's
my days. You know what?
I mean, Jeff Jarrett like doing the rock, in the ring, going,
You need someone, but you can't just rely on good matches. That's all this booking is these days. And I'd say good, but not even good. It's just thrown together matches, really, isn't it? It's just
and I have some issues about last week's match card as well.
Oh yeah, we'll get into that. But we've got a lot. They've jam-packed this card. I'll give them that. But they've put so much shit on here. Like there's not even one match here I'm excited to see. Really, there's 10 matches, but. Well, we'll go through them here. We got talking segments as well. We got Wardlow sitting down with Jim Ross, which, thankfully they're using Jim Ross right at this point, but still.
And this segment makes sense to me.
It makes sense, but shouldn't this have happened after he got his haircut? Why did he disappear for 2 months and then come back?
Because I think that's the story. They tell me that the hero's gone. You know what I mean? Like who's gonna take on Wardlow, and we saw that it was Darby being the new hero. So then Wardlow comes back in. As the shock entrance, it's like, oh my god, it was that idea of like, let us miss Wardlow.
Yeah, but
and it kind of works.
It was gone. Darby won the title and lost the title, and now Wardlow's just back, and it's like, no, you should have capitalized on it sooner. Like, you know what I mean? You can't take 2 months between a story and then be like, oh, it's long-term storytelling. He was gone for 2 months or whatever.
Yeah, but I think that it's the idea of like he's gone, so in our minds he's been forgotten. You know what I mean? The idea is like we were meant to forget that he was meant to be doing a thing, and then like oh my god, Wardlow's back. Like we didn't think he was coming back, but they did it in a piss poor way, like you said.
They're booking like we don't forget. We're always asking every week, where's this person, where's that person, because we want to see him on TV. It's not like they're injured or anything like that, and they've been sidelined.
Yeah, like that should have been really what they said. Like, oh, Wardlow, we don't know what's up with him. He's injured or something. Like we haven't really heard anything. And then he appears, and then tonight you'd be saying like, I'm assuming tonight Jim Ross is gonna be like, obviously Jim Ross is a very good interviewer. More than he's a fucking commentator.
Yeah, true.
He'd be like, well, where you been? What you doing? Like, why you suddenly coming back? And that's the thing that I love about Jim Ross, especially in terms of him being the interviewer, is that he asks these questions which are so obvious and in such a better way than like. And I do like Renee. I just don't think she's really, really cut out for like backstage. I just don't think she's much better doing the podcast kind of thing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm about to say that. Yeah, the podcast.
Like she's a lot better than fucking Officer Bradbury and whatever else did. Than most, interviews in wrestling, really.
Yeah, but it's the way she delivers, like we'll talk about later last week when she was like, "Oh, something's going on in the back or whatever and stuff," and it's just like, but like you said, she's much better than Officer Barbara. It's definitely an improvement.
Yeah, she's better than half the people in WWE sometimes.
Yeah, true.
But I think the worst part is though she's working with her friends, and it's kind of like this weird. She's like, you can tell that they're all friends. There's no real like.
Yeah. She's
professionalism.
She's biased in a way, because it's like
like I think her best moments are with MJF because she's definitely not biased, even though she is because it's Moxley, her husband. You know what I mean? I think she plays those parts really well. You know what I mean? You can't really tell that she's biased against MJF when he's interviewing her. But I think that might also be like MJF's really good at helping to sell it.
True. Next match we got Mark Briscoe against Josh Woods. So it's a 50-50. I'm glad Mark Briscoe's wrestling, but Josh Woods. And what happened to ROH not being on TV anymore? This is an ROH match.
Apparently they're coming. The TV is coming on March the 2nd.
Right, so that means for the next 3 weeks, Tony's just going to put ROH all over again.
I'd assume so, because that'd be his best play to keep ROH in in the headlines, keeping it still fresh, not just have it start.
Yeah, but come on, I mean, like, already, like, let's say 800,000 people watch this show in America every week. How many of them do you think is going to buy the fucking ROH streaming, whatever you call it?
I don't know, like maybe 200,000.
Yeah, probably even less than that, I'm going to say.
Yeah, but that like, you multiply that by 5. You know what I mean? 2 times 5 is what?
2 times 5 is 10.
Yeah, so that's like 10,000. Well, 10 like that's like nearly $1 million.
Wait, where's the 5 coming from?
It's $5 a month, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Oh, right. Okay, I see what you mean.
So, like, like what's that roughly? Like, what, $1 million? No, not even $1 million. Maybe 4. Oh, maybe $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. Like roughly, maybe $1 million. I don't even know. My maths is off. Let me actually calculate this, because I think it's something that we should know. So say it's 5 multiplied by, let's go, I estimate 200,000. Yeah, that's $1 million. It's $1 million a month he's making from 2,000 people, 200,000 people.
Yeah, but I think we're being a bit generous with the 200,000.
Yeah, I'm being very generous. Low end he's probably making $500,000, but like that $500,000 is like for a wrestling company that's ROH. That's got at least build the bank up a bit, for this.
Yeah, but then you got to think about the contracts and the arenas or where they're going to tape or whatever.
Yeah, but then you've also got to think, like, they're also selling tickets. How many tickets they sell? What the price of tickets? Merchandise sales.
I don't think they're going to be selling.
Licensing.
They're looking to get 1,000 tickets sold, I'd say, if they're lucky.
Then where the fuck are we coming with 200,000?
Have you seen these arenas what AEW are running every week? Half the arena's not even filled.
I'm pretty sure the director gets shouted at by Toni if he fucking goes near the other side.
Yeah,
because that camera does not move unless it's like this one angle over here, this one angle over here. Like
why are they booking these like big arenas when they know they can't fill them though? Why not just like book small arenas and pack them out instead of having
they announce MJF and think that's enough.
Oh yeah,
MJF's really great, but he's not 1 million people in the audience watching live at TV at home as well. He's not CM Punk numbers. Because like that was the best they were ever. Like that was the highest they were reaching when they had Punk. That's why I don't think Punk gone. You just don't get rid of an asset that.
Yeah, I think he's coming back quickly. Once he's not injured anymore or whatever.
You know what I mean? Like I just don't see that, because like how did no one from the Young Bucks side then get kicked? Because it was clearly from their side.
We'll talk more about that later, because we got the backstage meeting, what happened last week. But next match, we got Brian Cage versus Jack Jungle Boy Perry, whatever the fuck his name is now, I don't know. They had a match a few weeks ago, didn't they? I'm sure they did. Brian Cage and Jungle Boy.
No. Brian Cage. No, I don't think they did.
Didn't they?
Maybe they did. They all blends together. These.
I know, but once again, look, Brian Cage, ROH 6-man champion. So once again, ROH is on the show.
Wait, 6-man champion? What the fuck is that? Like he's 6 men?
Trios champion, but they call it 6-man.
All right. He's one. Right, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes so much sense.
That is stupid. I mean, I understand it's a 6-man match, but saying 6-man champion, it sounds like the 6 people. It sounds like
you took on 6 men to be the champion. You can only take on 6 men at a time. And is it 6 men include him, or 6 men they include him? Like,
I don't know, but yeah, Jungle Boy is gonna win. I don't care about this match either way.
No,
I think what happened at the start of this company, you had the pillars, and it seemed like the future was bright. But like even Sammy Guevara's been wasted in Jericho's group. Jungle Boy is just, I don't know, he's flipping from tag team to tag team.
I don't know. I still wait for Christian because he's still injured.
I'm guessing, yeah. That's why.
Because where the fuck has Luchasaurus been?
Yeah, just
why is he not on the show?
Put him on the shelf with Andrade and Eddie Kingston and Half Black and everything like that.
I don't know. I don't know this company. You know what I mean? No. People leak shit backstage. You know what I mean?
It's ridiculous. And then let's get to the highlight of the show, which probably will be MJF is contractually obligated to appear. So just like I think everyone's contractually obligated to appear, but
if you have a WWE contract, I think you are. Yeah, I don't know about AEW. Like I think if you're the world champ, and this is something I want to get into when we get to next week. If you're the world champ, you should at least be there or be on screen or being, you are the world fucking champion. You are literally
unless you're part time, like Brock or Roman or whatever.
Yeah, but even then, yeah, you're part. I don't think part timers honestly should be.
No, they shouldn't. Champion, no.
You know what I mean? Like, if you're like the fucking Intercontinental or a tag team champ, maybe yeah, sure. But when
not
you're
your
like
main belt,
your main guy, when you're like, this is the guy that people are coming to see, win or lose, or see what he has to say, and he's not there. Like it's in my eyes, it's very piss poor in terms of management. Because if that guy isn't being there because it's like he doesn't want to be there, it's like, well, I don't want to have you having the belt. I need you there. Like the important thing is like that's the responsibility. That, like getting the belt is like getting a promotion or like a temporary one. It's like you now have these new fucking obligations you have to abide by.
I don't get about this though. We've still got 3 weeks left for the pay-per-view. What else are they gonna do with Bryan and MJF? What else can they do? He blooded him up last week. Like, what else can you do?
You know what I mean? That's 3 fucking shows we've got to deal with. Of what, them playing cat and mouse?
I guess a contract sign in 1 week, a promo battle the other week, and then what? The final face-off or something? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, like, it's, we'll I'm assuming, like, Bryan will have one last match the week of the tournament, or the week of the event, and probably get injured. They'd be like, oh, he's going into this fucking
Iron Man
match injured to be like all dead impressive. It's like, no, it would be more impressive if he actually went in and the Iron Man match ended within 30 minutes.
True. But the fact that it's an hour long. Maybe that's why Tony's not announced any more matches. He's just like, you know what? An hour match. I'm going to have to wait and see and book around
that's what I would do. Like, I booked a time slot. Saying like, all right, we've got the hour, but I want the match to end in 30 minutes. And then I want 30 minutes of pure fucking chaos. Or 20 minutes or whatever chaos before we go off air. Play into next week. I mean, because a fucking hour of one match. You know what I mean? Like, it is not like matches have never been fun. I don't think I've ever remember there being one any fun. And I don't know why.
I can handle half an hour, but an hour's just overkill. It really is.
You know what I mean? Like, has there ever been a match where it's been an hour long and be like it?
I can't remember the last hour-long match, apart from like excluding gauntlet matches because they don't count. I mean, an actual one-on-one match or whatever. I don't remember the last time it's been an hour.
Like a tag team, or anything, like 3 men at least.
There's reason why, innit? Because you can't hold your attention for an hour on one match. That's just
like, what can they do for an hour? Like grapple for 20 minutes.
Yeah, and
do
then
some high flying spots and then
rest again, and then it's gonna be high fucking paced, is it, for an hour long?
There's a reason why real fights don't last more than 10 minutes.
Not even that. It's all it takes.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? In UFC or boxing and stuff like that, there's a reason why they don't. Like in boxing, they last a bit longer because they take breaks and because the round is short. You know what I mean? But there's a reason why. You know what I mean? Like an hour is just. I'm so glad we're not going to watch it live.
Nah, it should have been like 2 out of 3 falls. That would have been much better, really, wouldn't it? The best of 3 in one night, obviously, not like spread out. Hey, don't start doing that. No. Okay, now. But yeah, moving on. We gotta get to another match which I do not care about. We got Hangman Page versus Kip Sabian. Wow. Well, I guess this is going to be another match, and it'll be Mox versus Hangman for the 5th time at the pay-per-view. I
don't know. Maybe it'll be Mox versus Miro if Kip's involved.
Oh my god.
Or maybe it'll go get. There's a reason why he's on the shelf.
There's a reason why a lot of people are on the shelf. It's either filming or issues backstage or they're injured. There's always an excuse. It's never, Tony Khan's
my personal favorite one is the Young Bucks. Because that's the Young Bucks reason. You know what I mean? I can't stand those two.
No, but yeah.
What's worse though is like I feel like if I met the Young Bucks in real life, I'd probably actually enjoy their company. You know what I mean?
I would.
I think like these guys would probably be like a really cool hang, but I'm just not a fan of their wrestling work.
No. Like the way they conduct themselves backstage from various reports that we've heard. It's not just FTR either. But anyway, moving on, we got another.
Well, they don't even speak about it, do they? Really?
But yeah, because they're probably gonna. Well, we got to talk about FTR in a bit. We got Adam Cole sitting down with Renee, so I don't know if Adam Cole Revolution or
But he's
what.
having the match and he's sitting down with Renee.
No, he's not having a match. I'm guessing he's leading to a match in it, but I don't know who against. Or
I think he said he's going to get Skip Sabian.
No, Hangman. We're moving on now. With Adam Cole sitting down with Renee. Fuck that match.
Oh, Adam Cole. Fucking
yeah. Adam Cole, Adam Page. I know there's a lot of Adams.
Oh my god. Oh, could you call him Hangman? I think you didn't call him.
I said Hangman.
And then
now we're on Adam Cole.
That you were like, because you call him like two different. You call him by his wrestling name. I'm a fucking fool. Jiminy can't get Adam. I feel like Jim Cornette. God, it's easily done. Yeah.
Adam Cole.
I do not have a fuck about Adam Cole, baby. I'm hoping I will, because you and Nathan hyped him up and all shit, and he seemed to be doing really cool with Red Dragon. Like, I'm really
telling you, his NXT run was much better. AEW, I don't even remember what he really did now. He had the match with Orange Cassidy.
I think I know why Keith Lee's not being seen. Adam Cole's just come back. Adam Cole might not be clear to wrestle, but you know who is clear to wrestle?
There we go. Manager
Keith
time.
Lee. Oh, as we like to know him as Bob Cat. Get that rolling.
At least when he was back, he was on TV.
Oh, was it Beck?
Yeah, but still, at least he was a shit gimmick, but at least he was on TV. You know what I mean? Not selling a cinder block for 2 months now.
I could see Toni doing that, though. Like, I could see him saying that might be a good idea.
Moving on, we got the only women's match, because AEW can only do one women's match per week. We got this supposed to happen a few weeks ago. We got Toni Storm, Britt Baker, and Ruby Soho in a triple threat. So yeah.
I want just Ruby to win.
Yeah, but I mean, what did he even do? Is Ruby an original, or is she fucking from WWE?
No, but it's a stupid idea anyway. So the best way to get rid of that stupid idea is to put Ruby in it and be like, no, it's just two factions of women fighting because they hate each other. Like normal wrestlers would do. You know what I mean? Like, do it because you two are arrogant pricks. And, we want. You know what I mean? Like, why this? Oh, we're you original people. You need to be put in your place. Like, it's a stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, what does that say? I know it's all fake and shit like that, but like, does that really encourage other female wrestlers to come and join your promotion? You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Well, clearly, like, all these quote unquote, ex people from like WWE and all that are getting the bigger push. If I'm trying to be an original, I'm trying to be the new girl or guy or whatever in this company. Like, do I have a chance?
No. And not just that, just the booking in general. Like, one women's match per week.
I wouldn't even say that as well. It's like none of them are trained. Willow, for instance.
Oh my god.
I hate harping on it. You know what I mean?
I'll give Toni credit. I think he saw the backlash to that Willow shit, and she's not been seen since that Ashes. So at least he stopped that push. I'll give him credit for that, because
I don't know. She might show up to fucking help Ruby. You know what I mean?
That was I've got to talk about it again. I know we're gonna talk, but still, come on. Like, you missed the table spot, and you say, yeah, women bleed every. We're not talking about the fucking blood. We're talking about you missing the table spot and nearly breaking Anna Jay's back. That's what we're talking about.
It's clearly that she heard like the majority of people, because there will be people saying that there will always be those stupid fucking fans go, I hate all the blood and all. I'm like, fine, fair enough. I'll agree. Ruby cut too deep. That was clearly not the case. Clearly not what she wanted to do. I hope she was okay and all that. But my god, Anna Jay took a bullet. And this isn't the first time she's nearly killed herself, Anna Jay, with an opponent. I'm pretty sure something else happened
last year. This was out of control, isn't it? She gave a trust to her opponent to do the powerbomb safely, and she completely misses the thing.
Yeah, but you'd assume, like, Anna Jay, like, well, you've been trained to do this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but the fact that she couldn't take the criticism and she's just like deflecting and being like, "Oh, women are allowed to bleed." I'm fine with women bleed. I'm fine with men bleeding when it means something, not just for a random throwaway match.
You know what I mean? That bleeding meant something. You know what I mean? That was meant to be a blood feud. You know what I mean? Like, Ruby's been after these two bitches for ages.
It's just, oh my god. But yeah,
you suddenly nearly kill one of them. Man, I know. Kayfabe gets a little, blurry, but come on now.
It's the same as the fans, and you just can't take any criticism whatsoever. It's always an excuse. It's never, I fucked up. The only person who's admitted it was Kanosuke when Ric Flair mentioned his chops, and he's like, "Oh, I hope you can train me one day. I appreciate the advice." Like, that's the right way to take it, not like, "Oh, what does Ric Flair know? He's only been wrestling for fucking how many years?"
And you know what else? Like, that's the nicest way Ric Flair's ever commented on someone's wrestling. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, when is he ever like not being like harsh? You know what I mean? Whether he's like being in character or just chat shit, being himself, because he's not usually the nicest person.
No, he's the dirtiest player in the game for a reason, but
there's a reason why we like MJF and Ric Flair.
Are you ready for the main event for tonight, Dylan?
No.
You ready for this shit? Jon Moxley and Claudio versus Roosh and Preston Vance in a Texas Tornado match. Ooh.
When Claudio and Eustace were doing that.
Oh my days, I don't want to remember.
That's a new nickname, Claudio. I'm going to call him Claudio as well. So
what the fuck is this? Like, didn't Preston turn like 3 months ago on a Dark Order? I ain't seen him once, and he's just always backstage wearing a suit. He's finally wrestling now, but still, like, what the fuck?
He looks good as well. The suit looks really good.
Yeah, but I'm just like, why'd you turn him if you're not going to do anything with him? It was like months ago, and now he's finally wrestling.
I don't know, like, what do you even do with the Dark Order in general? Like,
I think the Dark Order's dead. I think it's just dead at this point, really.
That is something I really want to discuss with you at some point, because why? I understand the circumstances, but why are you letting this thing that meant so much?
Young Bucks, I think. Because think about, remember, they started.
I wish they were my best mates. I'd give them a good talking to.
They started putting a Dark Order on the Being the Elite, didn't they? And that was the best part of the show, wasn't it? That's when we used to watch it as well.
Yeah.
So maybe it's just part of that jealousy thing again, where it's like the Dark Order got over more on us. So, it's just making not a thing anymore.
I guess so, yeah. But, like, I get Keith Lee. Not Keith Lee. Brody Lee. His passing and all that is really sort of like threw a massive wrench in the whole Dark Order situation.
Yeah, it turned the babyface, didn't it? Because no one wanted to do him after that.
And then you got Stu Grayson not getting signed, which broke up like the original Dark Order in the sense of like Stu and you know what I mean. And then 5 left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which no one was probably crying about, but I feel like there was something they could have done with him. You know what I mean? He's doing really great in the Indies. And now 10, it's like, well, and then Uno's like being the world's worst actor behind Adam Page. And Uno works off better with Stu. I mean, he's not a singles competitor. He's definitely a tag team man. And he's still doing tag team stuff, in the Indies with Stu. I don't know why you're not trying to get him back. And then like Silver and what the fuck is Silver and Reynolds doing?
Nothing.
I mean, they're your next hot tag team, and you're not even building them up. They're literally your next hot tag team. They could be up there with Guns, with Acclaimed, right? You would have then 3 deep. Actually, you'd have your 4-man teams. You know what I mean? To build a good storylines between your tag team division.
Yeah,
right
even
there.
House of Black in there as well.
Lucha Brothers.
Yeah.
Death Triangle. Yeah. Throw those into the mix, and you've got at least 6 teams there. Like, you've got a tag team division strong enough right there, and you choose not to do
anything with it. No.
But you've got enough jobber tag teams from like the Private Party,
Butcher and Blade,
sadly.
Best friends.
And yeah, I hate
Ethan Page and his little fucking people.
Dante Martin and his brother, Top Flight. You know what I mean? You got a good couple of like make hires to proper jobbers for you, and it's just not working out.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It's like he's only ever focused on a single division. You know what I mean? A single men's division. And really,
going back to the Guns winning, I don't think I've ever, in the time I've watched wrestling, a person wins a title or whatever, and then the next week they're just not to be seen at all. Like, shouldn't you capitalize on that? Like, even if the heels, you still bring them out to gloat about it and brag. But nothing.
Even if the heels are like, oh, we're not going to that town, we're celebrating. You still have a videotape, but you still have footage of it. You know what I mean? You have a video playing on like, but that happens all the time. In this company, unless you're like the AEW World Champion, that always happens. Like when Samoa Joe won the fucking tag title, he's not been any seen.
No, even Jamie Hayter, she won on next week. You have to wait a week or 2 to see her again.
Well, yeah, because you're only allowed one fucking women's match a week, and he wasn't having her in any of it.
Oh my god.
I
That's all
swear.
the matches for tonight. So they've packed the show, but it's not necessarily with good
Packed?
stuff.
I don't even know what you mean by that.
I just mean like in terms of the lineup, like it's a 2-hour show and we've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches and 3 talking segments. So that's a lot to get through, isn't it?
Yeah, but like when I say packed, I usually mean like, oh, you've got really good stuff going on. But,
oh yeah, no, I don't mean packed with. I just mean it's packed with shit. Like, it's just it's just full with
Yeah. Like it's always packed anyway. It's always full of shit. Like it's always full of like.
And it's AEW in it, so every match has to go at least 10, 15 minutes. They're allergic to 5-minute matches. They can't do that. Oh no.
I know. I hate it because this company is just. I feel like we're just bashing it every week.
Yeah, like literally the only saving grace for me right now is MJF and the Acclaimed. That's it.
You know what I mean? You remember when we used to talk for like an hour and a half on this stream? You know what I mean? Because there was so much good shit to talk about. And now, like, I feel like we get through it within half an hour because it's just we don't care. There's so much we don't care about that we can't muster a thing to talk about.
We had all these dream matches we're talking about, like CM Punk versus Samoa Joe or Bryan versus Joe or whatever, and we've not seen one of them.
MJF versus Joe.
Yeah, MJF versus Joe. We've not seen one of them. Not one of them. What the fuck?
Like, the only time I think the only time they're ever going to do Samoa Joe versus... Well, it's because Samoa Joe's now RH, so I guess it depends on... I don't know, like... I don't know what the contract situation is like, whether RH and AEW 2 separate companies.
They technically are, yeah. I think it's...
You know what I mean?
You have 2 contracts here.
Yeah, so, like, is that the issue? Like, there's like, some legal issue where, like, he can't really, like... because of the contract.
Because he's TNT champion right now, isn't he, Samoa Joe, and ROH, so it can't be anything like that.
So, because my dream match is like, if MJF's going to drop the title, it would be the Punk on. I wouldn't have him drop it to Punk. Really, there's going to be a massive feud between Jericho and the Elite coming soon, because you can see Jericho. I think he's building him, Sammy Guevara, Garcia, as a trios division, as a trios group.
Well, yeah, they teased that on Twitter, didn't they, with that photo with the belts or whatever.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely coming to the point where he's like, well, I'm going to go after the new shiny belts. You know what I mean? Because he didn't want to go after the TNT one because I don't think that means anything to him, really.
No. And he dropped ROH as soon as he found out they were getting TV. He's like, well, fuck that. I'm not being champion anymore. But yeah, let's talk about last week's show because there's a lot to talk about.
That must have been no. Can we just say that that's got to be a shock to Castigo because they got a TV deal for AEW and all that because of Chris, but they couldn't get it for ROH.
No.
So that says
the 3 years of Jericho was like, you know what? He's not as good as he used to be. Never mind.
Yeah, like I was saying, like, is that because like they know he's not as good as he used to be, or is that like maybe he wasn't the reason they got the TV deal for AEW? Maybe it was just
I don't think he's the sole reason. He was a part of it, but it's a combination of things, really.
Yeah, but like it's like, what executives are there who like, oh yeah, I remember when Jericho was here doing that show, CCW or whatever. Like those executives are long dead and gone.
Yeah, they don't last very long, do they? It's like 3 years.
So it's like, who's there going? Yeah, Jericho's star power. Like, no executives. Unless you're like in Fox, whatever, running a wrestling program.
Well, yeah, but you can always just search it up though, and it'd be like, well, who's this Jericho guy? And
then you played into the glue in his hand. Do your research.
True. Yeah, but let's talk about last week's show because there's quite a lot to talk about.
I messaged you straight away because I was already pissed off at starting.
First match was MJF beating Kenosuke. The rare occasion we get MJF wrestling, and this match was good. I'll give him credit when credit's due. This match was good, but it didn't mean anything. But
Can I just start out? Why the fuck is your world champion not main eventing your show?
No, and especially what they call eliminator match, where if Kenosuke wins, he gets the title shot. Shouldn't that be like the most important?
I say it again, and I say it all the time. Your champion is your main eventer. That is the whole point of them having the belt. That's the whole point of them being crowned your champion, is that they are the main event. They are the thing that make you a lot of fucking money.
The top guy.
Why is he starting off your show? Because you what to get that million views on Konosuke, mate? No, you get that million views because he's facing MJF. Like the only reason.
That's the logic in it, is to keep the viewers in it. If MJF's the starting point, people might stick around because it's MJF.
No, but people should be sticking out because he's at the end.
True, they should, but you've seen the rating they go at the start.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, there's so much bloatware in between. Like, I don't blame them half the time. When the fucking Young Bucks are on stage, I wish I could tune out and tune back in. Well, we skip anyway. So essentially we do. But, like, and it was a good match to get back to that. Like, it was a really good match. Like, Konosuke was really showing his stuff. You know what I mean? And you got to give it to MJF. Like, he was helping him out there. You know what I mean? It was a good match for MJF. It wasn't very dirty either.
No. But afterwards, Konosuke got attacked and he bladed, and then Brian came out for the save. Which, remember that, because that's not the only time we saw blood tonight. Which every fucking week someone's bleeding. That's what I mean. Why does it have to be every week? It doesn't mean anything anymore. Make it mean something, for fuck's sake.
Women bleed once a month, for about
Oh, my days, man. Ridiculous.
Bad table spot, what you on about? But we
had from one world champion to the next, because Jamie Hayter beat the Bunny, and this match wasn't good, and the Bunny got injured again. So I'm not trying to, drag her down or anything, but it seems like this girl does get injured quite a lot, so...
Wait, was it a broken nose?
I don't even know. Something to do with her face. She landed on her face or something. I don't know what it was.
She looked fine. I don't know. Was it confirmed she had an injury, or was it just...
It looked pretty bad.
Yeah, but as like AEW or anyone said
on social... But they never confirm injuries, did it? It's always the dirt sheets who,
Well, was it the dirt sheets confirmed anything?
I think they said something about an orbital bone or something. I don't remember really, but...
Because it looked like it wasn't that bad. I mean, she's not the best wrestler, Bunny.
No, she's not. I mean, I'm not trying to, drag her down, but it seems like it's a common occurrence. Like, whenever she wrestles, she gets injured or something. It's like,
Good thing you didn't put against Willow, fucking hell.
Oh, my days, imagine. And then from
that wasn't a very good match.
No, it wasn't. And then, oh my god, this segment. Saraya and Toni backstage. They pull in, what's her name, the librarian, Leva Bates or whatever. And they spray paint her back and she's just giving off the worst acting ever. And it's like, what, are you trying to be the NWO? Like, what the fuck are you doing? Spray painting L on people, calling them losers?
It had that, don't like me, where it's like, oh no, I'm a virgin. I had that vibes to it. Like, you didn't even knock her out. She's not even like being choked out or anything.
No, she's just on the floor.
And the whole thing like, oh, library begins with an L because you're a loser. Are we kindergarten again? You know what I mean? You two all just fucking discovered this. Like, I know, Saraya, you totally discovered how rhyming works, because so a name rhymes with shit. I mean, I very clever. Like, Saraya, were you this good in WWE? Because I didn't watch back then. I was told you were very good. Like, I've seen other videos that I really like of yours. Aren't WWE related. But, are you at all any good?
If you compare it to what came before, the Divas era, she was much better than that. But, I mean, that's not saying much really, is it? Because the Divas era is, 2-minute matches and all that shit.
Yeah, piss break. I love the women's matches nowadays, though. They are great.
And this other bit, a lot of people, especially the glue eaters, like, they love to, claim they're so smart and everything like that. But this MJF thing backstage, we talk about the car crash when he was in high school or whatever.
Oh, please go through that story. It was so funny.
Oh, I can't do it justice, MJF, man. But he's basically telling the story and it was like, what?
I don't mean that. I mean about how everyone was fucking calling the police department.
Oh, yeah, people calling the police because he switched bodies. Then he switched the police with the girl driving. And it's like, he just committed a crime. He just admitted to a crime. And 300 people apparently reported it to the police. And it's like, how fucking stupid are you people? What the fuck?
But to be fair, like, that is a stupid thing to admit on fucking live TV, though. So you kind of gotta be like, I know, but like, you kind of gotta be like, how stupid are these people? Why would you admit that on TV? Like, you have to be stupid. Like, I know some people have admitted stuff like in awkward situations and stuff like that. But like, why would he, of all people, you know what I mean? Like,
because he's the heel. He's lying. He's probably not even telling the truth. Like, why do people think it was legit? Like, he's legit coming out on TV and admitting to a crime. Like what the fuck?
Do they not understand the point of that story?
Apparently they didn't. Some people even missed him switching places. They thought he killed the girl, like she wasn't breathing and all. It's just like, no, he said she was breathing.
He checked. He wanted to make sure. But the whole point of the story was to show how low he will go.
Yeah, he'll do anything to get what he wants, and
Which I think, like, in terms of this promo, it was really good. But like, it's going to be hard for him to come back for that when he becomes a face, because someone's going to use that. So I've been used.
True.
I was just making a point. I was telling a lie.
I agree. What Brian last on Jim Connors, he said, like, that's enough with MJF's backstory now, because it seems like he does bring up a lot about his high school days, doesn't he? It's been a few times he's talked
Yeah,
about
but I think it's one of those things where, like, it's a good story mechanic to use.
It adds backstory to the character as well, which is good.
Yeah, but like it helps, whenever he needs to explain something, he can make something up from his, like, say, like, he wants to, like, fight this one guy, like, oh, you remind me of this kid from high school, he always bullied me or whatever, something like that. Like, it's a good tool for me to use, but he does rely on it quite a lot.
He does rely. It keeps coming. It's like, we're past high school now.
I do agree.
You have to keep bringing it up.
I don't think it was. Yeah, it was high school she tried to.
I get confused with the American, because it's like, they have like different names for it and all that shit, don't they?
I know, they have different names for the grades.
Yeah,
shit like that. Like, just fucking just 3 schools. That's all you need. Primary, high school.
And now we got to talk about the Ricky Starks burial, because the gauntlet match, when they have to go through 3 people or whatever, and he gets beat by Garcia because
missed the understanding of this match completely.
Yeah, have you ever seen this, Dylan? Jericho was inside the crowd with a mask on, and he attacked him. Never seen that before. Oh my god!
I didn't know who that was. I was shocked. I was like, "Who's this man? What, sir? Why are you attacking Ricky Starks? Sir, you are an audience member. Security! Why is no one stopping this man? Why is he getting in the ring? Why is Garcia
just stood there, just watched it all, not even trying to, I mean,
why is Garcia hugging him? Why is he taking his pants off? Oh my god, it's Chris Jericho! Oh my god! Savage Salacio, Chris Jericho! Oh my Jesus Christ! It was like that. That was my reaction.
And what's the gluiest excuse for this? Because Ricky Starks just got beat by Garcia. And the whole thing's stupid anyway, because Ricky Starks beat Jericho to begin with, to begin the feud. And now he wants another match with him after he's already beat him. And it's like, what the fuck's going on here? What is this storyline?
Where is that action man? Because he's been nowhere.
Oh yeah,
where's this so-called man that they were going to build up? True. This man where I do it for the kids. I build up young talent. Nowhere to be fucking seen.
Nowhere to be seen. I think this goes back to that Royal Rumble photo. I really do. Of it leaking online. Someone taking a photo of Ricky Starks backstage.
Yeah, but it's not it's not like no one knew he was there. You know what I mean? Like, someone probably went, "Hey Ricky, like, where are you?" Whatever he's playing. "Oh, I'm going to the Rumble. Cody's inviting me. Good friends with him."
Yeah, but what if someone's got Tony's ear? I'm not saying who it would be, Young Bucks, Jericho, whatever. And it's like, he's there to, negotiate. He's there to meet the people. Get his face be seen. But when his contract's up, and
Tony, that's his business sense. He's allowed to do it, and you like, unless he's actually breaching your contract, he is allowed to go and speak to whoever the fuck he wants.
True. But you don't get that Tony Khan rant when he was like, "Oh, WWE are tampering with my talent and all that." So maybe he's paranoid about that already.
Or maybe the talent are tampering with their own contracts to try and get somewhere where they can actually get fucking booked.
True.
You know what I mean? Don't just be blaming like WWE, because let's be fair, WWE, man, they've got a big fucking roster of talent at the moment, and they have a big storyline with the Bloodline. Like, I don't think they're in any position to be shaken up by adding new people. Like, it would be great.
Where would they even put Ricky Starks right now anyway?
Exactly.
What, with a joint Cody against the Bloodline or something? Hey, stop doing that.
If anything, like, I'm waiting for Cody to do his thing with Legacy with Orton again when Orton gets back, because that's coming.
Yeah, that's a storyline. Yeah, it could happen. Especially
I don't mean
champion.
I don't mean in terms of them teaming. I mean, like, if
you're bringing up the past and all that. Yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean? Like, there's a good segment there. Like, you could have, who was it that teamed up with back then? Was it Axel?
DiBiase's son.
Yeah, like,
I don't think he wrestles anymore, though.
Oh, because that would be a good way, like, for Cody to have a match against him. Like, Orton's trying to, like, say, "Oh, you got to face him" or whatever. You know what I mean?
True.
You got to face the demons of your past before you can come and, like, face me or whatever. Like, the idea being like, basically what, like, they were basically trying to do with fucking what's that guy now? He's not Spooky. He's a complete waste of time on TV. Bray Wyatt. You know what I mean?
He's not been seen since the Rumble. Where the fuck's that story going? I have no idea, but
you know what I mean? Like, he's just this whole. I know we're going off and around, but like, Same problem with AEW. It's happening with Bray Wyatt. Like, he has his whole big moment in the Rumble. Isn't seen since. And it's going to be like, he comes out like, you know why you haven't seen me in a while. But I want to thank the crowd. That's my Bray Wyatt impersonation. I know it's not very
Yeah. Back to
for no reason. He's gonna
last week's show. Brian got locked inside the room then by Roosh or whatever before his match, and MJF told Audrey to count to 10. But of course, Brian made it back out.
And I couldn't believe she started fucking counting. I didn't know she could go that high.
And the best part about this match, it was a good match, Roosh and Brian, but MJF on commentary, man, oh my god.
Oh my god,
he
that was
had me
great.
dying. Him and Taz, yeah, oh my god.
I was in love with it. It was so funny, him and Taz. And then like he was going to lead into fucking Excalibur, and I was getting sick of Tony. I really was.
Yeah, you can tell MJF was as well. Kept calling him old and a fat old prick and all that.
Yeah. And right, and this match, like, it was all right. You know what I mean? Like it was right.
It was a bit long, but I've got to say, like, Roosh, I'm a fan of Roosh. He has some high velocity moves, man. It seems like, obviously he's not actually kicking him, but his kicks, man, Jesus Christ, they look painful.
Yeah, I feel like he's really good, but this match didn't fully sell me on him because it was a match.
We weren't gonna win.
No, it just wasn't a good match. It really wasn't, because it's like yeah, let's just do all this really big stuff. I'm like, okay, but like, well, like, why? Like, you know, it just felt like they were doing moves for moves. See, like, why? Like, you know, like the whole
Brian was bleeding as well, so that's twice in one show.
I'm talking about the redness on his fucking chest from the start, motherfucker.
Yeah, true. But why did he have to blade though? What was the point in blading?
To show, like, you know, how beat he is, you know what I mean? To show, like, you know,
why did Konosuke have to bleed that? That's what I mean. It's just blood for the sake of blood now.
I don't think there's a lot of communication between each wrestler about who's blading and who's not blading.
Oh yeah, there's like, definitely, yeah, you can tell.
Because I don't think Brian would
segments that are the same. It's ridiculous.
I think Brian did it because he felt like, well, you know, I need to blade because I need to show how much I'm getting beat. You know, how much, you know, how
strong. I think literally Brian bled because he wanted to, because that's part of why he went to AEW in the first place. He asked Vince, didn't he? He's like, can I blade? And he's like, no, you can't blade in WWE. So
I know, but like, Brian doesn't do it often though.
No, he doesn't do it often. And also, what happened to his New Japan? I thought he was supposed to be wrestling in New Japan. That was his main reason for coming to AEW. And he's not wrestled once there yet. Well,
maybe he's like enjoying doing AEW. You know what I mean? Like, he's actually just enjoying. He's like, well, you know what? There's nothing for me at the moment in New Japan in terms of storyline. Because what you can do, like, deal with fucking Kenny. But it's just like New Japan is screwed.
That would be an amazing
I don't think that man's got much of a future left in New Japan with the way they screwed him. Like, even Switchblade, he got screwed, didn't he? Like, it's the.
Oh yeah, I think he's on his way out now, isn't he? I think he's.
I don't think they're really bothered about much of the talent that they built there. I think they're trying back. I think New Japan are trying to get, you know, like Kenny and all their old talent back. Which you could say maybe Daniel might be one of those they want to get back, but I doubt it. I think he's just happy of being at home. Maybe he saw like how easy it is for him to wrestle in AEW, and he's like, well, you know, I'm making good money. I don't need to go all the way to New Japan. Like, what is there for him though?
Or maybe he's still waiting for the COVID restrictions. Didn't they just recently lift that? Or are they still allowed to cheer? I don't remember. I don't know.
That probably is it as well, yeah. He's probably thinking, you know, I will come back to a real big crowd. There's a crowd. But yeah, back to the blading thing though. For Brian, I think like he wanted to show how, you know what I mean, how much Roosh, but I think the redness on his chest did it. You know what I mean? Those chops.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The chops were much better instead of just blading all the time.
You know,
I don't understand.
But, you know, different strokes, different folks nowadays. You know what I mean? I think all the gluteus love it when he blades. Like, oh yeah, blood everywhere.
Oh yeah,
unless you're a woman, don't bleed too much.
It's ridiculous. The Elite beat Top Flight and AR Fox. Who gives a fuck? There's a lot of flipping and flopping per usual.
I love that guy. Give a fuck.
Stop doing that. He's being annoying.
Was that on this match? Was that on this card? Was that the main event?
No, the main event was Guns beating the Acclaimed.
Oh shit.
For the titles.
I thought this was the main event.
No.
You know, the Brian match. I thought I remember it ending there.
The Guns match, the ref bumped in it. Billy came out to stop him using the title, but they ended up hitting Billy with the title, and then, you know, they won with a roll up.
Yeah, not a good match.
Not the best Guns match, but
not the best Guns match. Not the best clean match. Good match though. Did not it? You told me it was rushed, and I didn't realize how it felt really rushed and ended.
And guess why it was rushed? Because the fucking Elite went 20 minutes just before it. Because, you know, they got to get all the shit in, haven't they? They got to have the 20-minute match, the fucking dick. It's ridiculous.
That's not blaming them, you know. There's enough blame to go around with Brian as well.
But still, why did they need 20 minutes with Top Flight and what's his name, AR Fox or whatever?
I don't know, they built Dante Martin up because they want to give him more TV time so he can show off. But then it's like, well, he's not showing off because half the time you guys are doing VT triggers and super kicks out of nowhere and silly string and getting air spring at you because, you know, we're really hot and stupid fucking stunts with Brian Cutler because he's a useless wrestler.
You come out of all your entourage, your heels or faces, you don't know. It's like,
you don't even have Don Carlson commentary anymore. What's the point?
Yeah, true. But yeah, that was last week's show. I mean, you know what? Looking back at it now, I think last week was probably better than tonight's going to be. Because tonight does not seem like it's going to be
at least
good.
fucking MJF was wrestling. Let's
True.
give last week.
Yeah.
And that's what I want more of, because I do enjoy MJF wrestling. I mean, he's very talented.
True.
I mean,
but yeah, there's two other things we've got to talk about. Do you see Dax Harwood's tweet the other day? He tweeted out a picture of Tequila, and in the corner there's a WWE contract.
Was there?
Yeah,
I just saw the belt.
And he deleted it afterwards, but I don't know if that was a tease or a mistake. I don't know which one it would be.
It might be an old
contract.
It's probably one of his old contracts. So.
Yeah, maybe, but I mean, they are coming up in April, aren't they? The contracts are up in April, so you know.
Yeah, maybe like if it was something or was nothing, he would have left it up. But maybe like maybe WWE contract where you can't be showing like even old contracts not having like anything of them showing. You know what I mean?
True.
Or maybe he thought, like, maybe I shouldn't be having that show on my social media. I should delete it.
Or maybe it's just them fucking, because people are complaining about this podcast, aren't they, all the time? So maybe it's just them just fucking with people, being like, It's
I haven't kept up with it, but I do want
going
to.
back. I can't believe FTR are going back to WWE after all Vince did to women. It's like, well, Vince isn't there anymore.
Vince ain't though. I don't be saying Tony's done a lot for him at the moment because he's done fuck all.
I know.
Yeah, sure, he brought them in. They built themselves up because Tony didn't do nothing. I don't know what Tony would have to do with. I mean, I'd assume he was busy dealing with his mum by the way he talks about it.
Oh my god. And then it was supposed to face the Young Bucks for the second time. The crowd were all chanting FTR. The match didn't happen. And Swerve and Keith won the titles instead because, Young Bucks didn't want to face FTR, and that's the way that goes, isn't it? But,
Why? I would never understand that. It's because they're more popular than him. I'm like, are you two fucking idiots? Like, you're in the wrestling business. One person has to be the bad guy. Yep. One person has to get booed. No one can love everyone. Like, it's very rare you get two. The best stories are when like there's a guy you hate, when the crowd want to see you lose, when there's someone they want to see win. But like, don't you want to make money? Because you guys seem to love it. Doing a match with FTR, like that sounds like money. Does that sound like money?
There is money. Same with doing Punk match as well, but I'm probably not going to do that. But
I wouldn't want to see that match because it'd just be a fucking stain on Punk's career.
True. But also Thunder Rose is back doing...
FTR.
Thunder Rose is back doing a Spanish commentary for AEW, and apparently last week they had a backstage meeting with all the women, and apparently there's still heat on Thunder Rosa for sandbagging and being a bully, apparently. So, Thunder Rosa might be coming back to join the war, originals versus whatever.
Is that even a real thing, that whole, like, sandbagging and all that? From what her matches I saw, she wasn't doing. Like, she bumped it all that. Like, she fucked up, but who doesn't? You know what I mean?
True.
You know what I mean? And I don't know who could be starting it. I don't think it'll be Britt Baker. You know what I mean? Maybe her character, but not the actual, person.
Yeah.
So like, who? I'm trying to think like who would be saying shit like that though? Like, who would be starting those rumors? Like, I can't see the Young Bucks doing that. What did they gain as a benefit from that?
True. But I mean, we don't know how it is backstage, man. I really don't. But from all these reports that keep coming out, it doesn't seem like, at least WWE's structured. Like, what I mean? It's more professionally run in a way, innit? This just seems like it's a free-for-all backstage, and it's just like,
What happens when all friends get together and decide to think they can run a company?
True. But do you think, say Punk is coming back when he's not injured, do you think they're going to do one of these talent meetings backstage? Like they get all the talent together and try and, work it out?
I'd say that would be best to do if Tony was the one who called it, if it was Punk or the Young Bucks, whoever called it and say, "Oh, we never talent meeting," then it becomes an issue because like, why is your talent who have no managerial, duties,
Yeah.
no actual job in that title, who are MVPs and title only, have no actual power whatsoever doing this. Like if Tony was saying, right, locker room meeting, every fucker in here, no excuses, nothing leaves this room, I'm talking to you, Young Bucks. If I see Dave speak one fucking syllable that was mentioned in here, your ass is a grass. Because you like, if you don't hit hard on the Young Bucks or your top brass talent, then it's just gonna slowly reach its way down that and foster that level of work, foster that environment.
Yeah,
like,
because if Young Bucks are allowed to leak shit, then other people are like, well, I can leak shit as well.
Why would someone like Dante Martin do it then? You know what I mean? If he can make a quick book or whatever, he can get his name out there in a good press way. Like, why wouldn't he? I'm just using him as an example. I doubt he's like that. He's probably a really lovely fella. But just because he's on the low top ball, I picked him out of nowhere.
But you don't think Punk and the Elite would feud if Punk came back?
Would you want to after the shit that you have to deal with? Like, you don't want to work with children.
No, I mean, I'm talking about like just in terms of business, in terms of like storylines and shit, because that is the biggest thing that's happened in the past.
Like there's that, but then you've got to think. Well, then what happens when someone throws an unlucky punch that lands? Who's going to take it the wrong way? Because things like that happen, and it's like,
or who wins the feud as well? Because the Elite going to be like, you ain't going to put them over, right? They're going to want to win.
Yeah, so it becomes like, well, then don't have it because it's not good. It's going to cause more. It's going to cause more issues, I think, if it's not if they're not all cool with each other.
Yeah, but then like, what did you say? You think they'll be separate? Like Punk and the Elite just won't interact at all? Because then that's sort of like, how long can you keep that up? You know what I mean? That doesn't seem like a healthy environment either, really, does it?
Well, like... I remember there's a lot of people who don't interact in ring and out of the ring. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm not saying they have to all be friends or anything, even though it is all friends wrestling. But
I know what you're saying. Like, it doesn't foster a good working environment. But as long as there's mutual respect, you know what I mean? As long as Tony keeps like, a strict rule, like, you guys cannot be acting like fucking children. You don't like each other. That's fair enough. There's loads of companies where people don't like each other, but they run smooth. People don't fucking kill each other, start fights, throw chairs at each other. How come I can't have this with you lot? Get your act together, or someone has to leave, and it won't be CM Punk. I'd say that to the Young Bucks because he's not losing much if he says it to Kenny and the Young Bucks, because he's got $1 million viewer dropper right there in Punk. All right.
But I think he's worried about losing all these glue eaters because they love the Elite, and if the Elite left, then he's gonna lose a few of them. His loyal hardcore.
Yeah, but this man brings 1 million. Who you like?
True.
You're not hitting 1 million with the Young Bucks.
Yeah.
So this man brings 1 million. Who are you losing?
True.
You are gaining more than you will lose with the Young Bucks.
And you want to grow the audience, don't you? You don't just want to stay with the same. You want
very true. But like, you also have to say, where are the Young Bucks going to go? Because you're not going to have them on ROH. Are they really going to travel to New Japan all the time? And then there's Impact with the way they've had with like all the attention and main stage variety they've had with AEW. They want to go to Impact. They'll never work in WWE.
No,
AAA, I doubt they'll be going down to South Dakota to do anything. It just please the indies in America.
Unless they just retire. Because they're not young anymore, are they? They're like nearly 40, aren't they, or something?
And they were never fucking bucks, by the way. Those two were ugly fuckers. Their entire lives. So, like, he has to threaten them with that. He has to promise them that, because they're not going anywhere.
True.
You know what I mean? Because I do not see... maybe they'll try to work in New Japan, but it won't work out because they'll like, the schedule's not good. These flights are awful. Even though it's like once a month you have to go there, it's not fun. Because traveling's hard, and that's one of the main reasons AEW was structured the way it was to not have house shows the way they do them.
Yeah, but now they're slowly starting to do them. I'm not saying it's going to be on the,
Yeah, but it's not like John Moxley's going to have to pay it every week. You know what I mean? Every day. Just maybe he shows up one day, or maybe he shows up another day. I mean, it's not like in WWE where like your champion had a match, like it was the same fucking show in a different town. You know what I mean? No matter what.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's definitely structured different.
So I think it's basically like, oh, you got it's like an indie show showing up, but it's the one that you see on TV. It's probably gonna be different every week.
But yeah, anything else you want to talk about, or is that it?
Fucking hate this show at the moment. I wish it was better.
I know, same here, man. And it's like 3 weeks away from your pay-per-view. It should be hyped, so it just feels dead. It just feels like nothing's happening.
I don't even want to watch it.
Whereas you got WWE just filing all cylinders. Like, even if you're not interested in every story, they've got like the bloodline stuff going on. You've got Rhea Ripley challenging. You got loads of stuff going on.
You got so much good stuff happening in the women's division.
Yeah.
What was it? You got Rhea Ripley, Bailey and Becky, Charlotte and who?
It's gonna be Charlotte and Rhea, but Rhea's also got the Beth Phoenix thing going on as well with Edge.
Yeah, so you got like 4 storylines already, and it's about 6 women.
Whereas AEW have one story going on, that's it. Because Jade's not a story. Jade's just on her own little fucking diamond.
That's her gimmick. That's her
gimmick title, yeah.
It might as fucking well be.
True. It's ridiculous, but this company is gonna have to change something, man. I'm just hoping for CM Punk to come back soon, because that's like the only,
It's the only saving grace. Because when Punk gets back, like, Mox is going to start putting himself back into better position. It's like, well, I've got to outdo Punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one of the things you want Punk there for. It's time the other guys go, we've got to outdo him. You know what I mean? Because it just seems like they're all complacent at the moment.
Yeah, that's a good word for it, complacent. That's what this show just feels like right now. It's just, going through the motions. It's just.
And you have such good talent. You know what I mean? You actually have talent. You know what I mean? It's like
when they're actually used. Like, where the fuck's Keith Lee? Like, what the fuck? Eddie Kingston, House of Black, Ortiz.
Santana Ortiz, yeah.
Yeah.
There's another good tag team
the
there.
Guy, but even Miro, like, it's just all these people just disappear. There's just no reason for it whatsoever.
No, Lance Archer was really good. Why the fuck has he disappeared?
Oh yeah, he tweeted out the other day saying that he can't wait to wrestle again, but it's not his own, reason why he's not wrestling. It's not up to him. He's saying.
Must be a medical then.
I don't think it's medical. I think it's just Toni not booking him.
Yeah, but then he'd be wrestling other shows, wouldn't he?
But still, Toni has to, you're under the AEW contract, aren't you? You still have to run it by him.
Oh, I'd ask for forgiveness with that man. Because apparently you can't get fucking hold of him for a 5-minute conversation about, I want to do some kickboxing thing. Are you okay with that? Like, how hard is it for Toni to go, you know what, I'm not using you at the moment. You might get injured, but yeah, it might be a cool way to get you out there more, you know what I mean? Yeah, sure, we'll promote it. Good idea. No.
True.
Like, I say it a lot, but they need a creative person behind the stage. Like, I get it, right? Toni gives the final stage. Toni has, like, input on the stories, and the wrestlers start doing it themselves. But, like, what's the harm in having a creative advisor? Like, Freddie
just have a team of people. And then Toni has the final say, but they all come up with ideas, not just fucking. It's too much for one guy.
There's so much, like. I'm not saying like they have to have like 6, 7 whole right. Like have 3, 4 guys. You know what I mean? Freddie Prinze Jr. You know what I mean? Like you had William Regal. He would have been a great one. And have them have your team meetings. Go look. What storylines is everyone's thinking. Let's have meetings. With each individual wrestlers or teams or whatever. Like you have to claim come and go like. What are you thinking? Who are you thinking with? You know what I mean? We've got this person, three. They're not the storylines. What are you thinking? Let's see. What
and also look at the ratings. And if the ratings are dropping, like with the Elite, stop using them so much. Because if you're dropping 70,000 people when someone comes on the screen every week, it's not hard to tell that people are tuning out because this person's on the screen, is it? You know what I mean?
It's not like they're not. It's not like they're not trying to hide it by going in different time slots.
Oh yeah,
the show.
They've been testing.
But then it's the same fucking kind of drop. Same with Chris Jericho and his bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, what do you think this is? Do you think this is just a natural drop? Maybe, but like when it's the same drop with the same people at different times, it's a bit weird.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. Exactly.
Like, I'd like to see what you do if they weren't on the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a show without Jericho or the Young Bucks. That'd be good.
Yeah, go fucking look with that.
Yeah, she ended
a ham without cheese. Oh, you don't like cheese?
No. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're new. Check out those social links down below. Until next week, peace out. And